We're here talking with Amy Nagy, technically Director of Development with Sinatra, but more recently she's kind of been the face of Elmwood Crossing.
Yes, so Elmwood Crossing, obviously the joint venture between Ellicott Development as well as Sinatra and Company Real Estate. So I've had the fortunate opportunity to be a part of the face of it recently.
You have been the face of it. Sorry, Billy. Sorry, Nick.
Well, I can't speak to exactly why that is, but I'm very happy for the opportunity to talk with the folks at the community level, the city level. I like to talk.
You and Tom Fox, you know.
And Tom Fox likes to talk as well. He's very
good
good at it. Yes, that's what we'll call it, the Amy and Tom Show. That's what you should have the next time for this Facebook Live.
Tom is busy today.
He is busy today because he's attempting to go on vacation soon. So
yes,
I think he's trying to get all caught up.
I didn't know that Billy let him take vacations.
I didn't know either, but he seems like he snuck one in there. So it will be the Amy Show for the next few weeks, so who knows what will happen with Elmwood Crossing.
Well, we do know this. 2 weeks ago, the planning board signed off, the last municipal sign-off for 451 Elmwood. Mm-hmm. So that's talk about the psychological lift. I mean, you're going to take basically an empty gas station lot, mm-hmm. and you're going to build a 5-story building.
Yes, not 6.
I said 5. 65,000 square feet.
Yeah.
But just how that kickstarts the entire Elmwood Crossing, because let's be honest, I got files of projects that have been announced mm-hmm. that are still,
pending,
quote unquote, in the planning stage.
Yeah.
And considering that Ellicott and Sinatra were named designated developer in mm-hmm. July.
Yes.
Here we are mid-May, and mm-hmm. you guys are actually moving ahead, which for Buffalo is pretty fast track.
Yeah.
It's not lingering like, as I said, other projects. And I think that, talk to me about, the impact of 451.
Sure.
And to a certain extent, right across the street, we're seeing some of the spinoff mm-hmm. when Frank Campo Felice pays $3.5 million mm-hmm. for Carl Frisland's building there.
Yeah. So the lift of 451 Elmwood, which hopefully soon is no longer going to be called 451 Elmwood as we sort of develop the branding and marketing objectives, but we'll refer to it as 451 Elmwood for now. So it's a lift both to the business community, mm-hmm. the residential community, and certainly to us. We committed when we talked with Kaleida about taking the role as the preferred developer, that their expectation and our need was to move quickly on this project. Let's be honest, you have almost 8 acres of a campus that still needs snow plowed, groundskeeping done, similar types of things. So it's important for us, certainly, to get the project moving along. But, we've seen a little bit of a hiccup with some of our great small businesses along Elmwood. And we had conversations with them early on that what they wanted to see was activity. And when you talk with the neighbors immediately surrounding, as well as the community at large, what they want to see is activity happen. Nothing deteriorates faster than a vacant building. I think that the community at large knows that. So we've set the goal for ourselves to move at a robust pace, and that's what we're doing. So I think that we certainly are invigorated mm-hmm. by this happening. And, to your point of the recent acquisition, it signals to the business community as well as the city that there is going to be great activity happening, and Elmwood Avenue still remains the place to invest in.
And coming up very soon, you're going to start the environmental review for the rest of the Elmwood Crossing project. Mm-hmm. You deliberately segmented out 451 mm-hmm. From the rest, but starting Monday, the planning mm-hmm. board is going to take the lead agency on the mandated seeker review. And that is also a milestone unto itself.
It is, and I think that also speaks to the fact that we mean business when we say this project is moving forward quickly. So we saw 451 Elmwood as the opportunity to have some progress immediately. It doesn't have some of the complexities that in some cases, 50 years, 75 years old institutional, yet historically significant site has. So when we looked at it and we saw, first of all, where do we need activity and where can we make it happen quickly? That was 451 Elmwood. But we haven't just been ignoring the rest of the site. We've been working with the engineers, doing investigations on, what can we reuse, what can't we reuse, what do we not want to reuse, as well as working on putting together the appropriate design team for the project, talking with some of our project advisory committee regarding design initiatives. So work has been happening, but we hope that there's an additional sort of psychological lift by this signal and going to the planning board on Monday.
And getting back to 451, it's also a gateway. It's a gateway development into Elmwood Crossing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably more so than the eastern side, because the eastern side is sort of in the middle of the block.
Right.
This is right at the corner of Elmwood, Bryant, Utica.
Yeah. And we think that Wendell, who's been a design partner on the project, working with Chris Wood of Carmena Wood Morris, they've done a great job considering that site and what it means. And we think what we've presented is a beautiful mixed-use building that offers that great mix of residential, commercial office, as well as retail. So we're really proud of what we've proposed there.
And both Nick and Billy have told me, and you've said the same thing, you actually have fielded a lot of calls from people who want to live in those apartments.
Yeah.
And there's only 23 to be had.
Yes, yes. So fortunately, there will be more to follow. But as a resident personally of the Elmwood Village, I believe that people see what a great environment it is to live, experience entertainment, raise a family or not, raise a dog. It's a great place to be. And by the level of interest that we've heard, not only to 451 Elmwood and looking at those apartment units, but people can't wait to get more information about when we can bring a for sale product online.
And don't forget, and I think people have overlooked this, I think you said 20% of the residential units spread across the entire campus will be targeted for affordable.
Correct.
And I think, so it's not a exclusive,
No.
development at all. It's a welcoming project for Buffalo, for Elmwood, for Delaware District, fill in the blanks there.
Yeah, so if you look at any cross-section of the Elmwood Village, you have all sorts of individuals and family types and residences, and we know that it's vitally important to a sustainable community to reflect that existing fabric. So we also heard there was a robust conversation going on with our community about what our values are for making sure that there are housing types available for mixes of incomes, mixes of abilities, mixes of family types. So we heard that loud and clear from the beginning, working with the project advisory committee. That was one of the things that was first brought up. And in looking at this from a reasonable approach, we felt like we could put something forth that was achievable. So you spoke of that 80%. We felt like that was achievable, and we're excited about it. We think that it's going to make a better project.
Now we know what the first phase is, 451. What will be the second phase once you get done with the seeker process?
Yeah, so we're working on certainly townhome design, as well as we've talked about the market. So we're working with potential tenancies there. That project will have to be tenant driven. So we've had some really great discussions. We think we're in a pretty good place, but nothing's finalized. We're doing the investigations that we need to do as far as the remediation. So I think that you're going to see work happening on the townhome and grocery that will be most visible to people.
And that's along West Utica, just for geographically, so people understand where we're talking.
Yes, West Utica. So right now what you have is two parcels. One of them, many people aren't aware, but it's a land lease. It was like a free gift with purchase. That's not free.
Nothing's free, by the way.
Right, exactly. So that's led to some complexity. The parking garage was not Kalida owned, that's city owned. So we're in discussions with the city, who we think has been a great partner, very proactive in looking at how do we make this project make sense citywide. But certainly we can't drive the bus only on our own, but we hope to see some site work late fall. Of course, it's Buffalo, we go into winter. But we hope that folks will see activity on those Utica parcels pretty quickly after the close of the seeker process. And then most of the work...
The townhouse part will be actually developed by Essex Homes, correct?
So Essex Homes is a project partner. They've worked with Sinatra Co Real Estate for
a long time.
Yes. So we have a great relationship with them. Obviously, they're well experienced in townhome projects, condo projects. So we are very excited to work with Phil Nanula and the folks over at Essex Homes, and it's really developing to be a great partnership.
And while much of the focus is on Elmwood Crossing, least anyone forget, I mean, Nick is still working on many projects. Ellicott Development is still working on many projects. So this is one of a very large portfolio that collectively and individually both companies are working on.
Yeah, we're busy. We don't sleep. You see these bags under my eyes? I'm exhausted.
Good.
No, to your point, this was a non-traditional chain of events. We, both us along with Ellicott, always saw the opportunity in this site. It was an unusual path getting there, but when the opportunity came, both Nick and Bill, saw the opportunity, both from the standpoint of a project that truly is once in a lifetime. So they were happy to bring it along. We're fortunate that we've had a lot of great project partners on both sides that were also willing to get moving quickly on it. So it certainly is keeping us busy, to your point. But it's also, I think, one of the benefits of Sinatra and Ellicott being able to work together. Both companies have some, unique strengths. I love working with Ellicott every day. They were doing a lot of development here in Buffalo before it was cool to do so.
Yes, they were.
So I'm grateful to get to, benefit from all that they've done over the years. But I also think that Sinatra Co Real Estate, as being a younger firm, brings some things to the table, and we're balancing each other out well.
And again, you live in the Elmwood Village.
I do.
Nick lives in the Elmwood Village.
Yes.
So, I mean, this isn't something like you're doing a project out there. You're doing this in your own backyard. Billy lives not too far from you.
Right.
I mean, this is, you're a concerned resident is besides...
Yeah. When I go out on my Saturday morning run, I'm running through the Utica parcels, certainly trying to look at it not only from the standpoint of the business standpoint and what I do Monday through Friday, but also as a person who takes her Saturday morning run through that area. So we're committed to it, all of us, on a number of levels. Both Ellicott and Sinatra Co Real Estate have been heavily invested in not only the Elmwood Village, but the city of Buffalo. So again, this is transformative. It's a great project that we get to work on every day. We're thrilled about it. And we're happy to be working with the community and the city.
Good. We're looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.